The non-governmental organization Kwara Must Change recently presented the second edition of its bulletin, the Legislative Watch, to members of the public. The Legislative Watch is a periodic assessment and monitor of the workings of the legislator and spate of legislation in the Kwara Assembly. The NGO, whose primary objective is to monitor legislations passed by the Kwara House vis-a-vis their relevance with the needs of the people, view the Kwara House in the last 1 year and presented its 2022 assessment and legislation for the state.
The Legislative Watch, which is a novel initiative of Kwara Must Change and Grand Plan, is an objective and data-driven assessment of lawmakers' performance in the three legislative houses, namely the Senate, Federal House of Representatives, and the Kwara State House of Assembly. And this Legislative Watch is an effort to assist lawmakers come to terms with this very tasking responsibility and to constantly improve their services, knowing fully well that our organization, Kwara Must Change, being one of the leading organizations that contributed to the success of the Otoge political revolution, will be watching very keenly and at the end of every legislative year compile, analyze and present before the people our assessment of each lawmaker's performance based on available data. The data used for this assessment are compiled through questionnaire to lawmakers themselves, survey and research within the constituencies, and media reports. And all over Nigeria, many have observed that the quality of government projects being executed in this republic is not comparable to those of the past and even those of the military era. This is largely due to poor legislative activities, particularly in oversight functions. It is based on this realization and a quest to strengthen the legislature that we came up with the concept of Legislative Watch as an assessment tool to widen public understanding of legislative responsibility and simplify accountability process. The Constitution of Federal Republic aided our quest in Section 69, Section 110 and others by empowering citizens to do oversight on legislators and hold elected representatives accountable, just as the lawmakers are empowered by the same Constitution to do oversight on the executive and hold them accountable. We hereby present the second edition of Legislative Watch, being an assessment of Kwara lawmakers' performance between June 2020 and June 2021, which is the second edition from Kwara Must Change. The responsibility of lawmakers were broken down into 4 broad categories, namely representation, executive oversight, legislative advancement, and constituency outreach. All of these 4 broad indicators also have sub-indicators which were clearly outlined, with each having a score that has been assigned to them. After the first edition of Legislative Watch was released, the Kwara State House of Assembly actually invited us over, in which they asked a lot of questions about the modality, about the assessment, and how it was done. And we took the opportunity to explain to them the modalities and what we believe they could do to enhance their performance. And some of it is that, we know that what we are doing is different and is new. So it is not difficult, it is not easy for someone to embrace it. But basically, when you look at the indicators, they are self-explanatory in such a way that when you look at them, you can simply incorporate them into your activity.